How to bring out the natural curl in your hair. Part 1. Bringing out the curl in straight or wavy hair. 1. Use medium-bodied shampoo and conditioner. Choose products that will help to define your curls without weighing down your hair. Look for curl-defining shampoo and conditioner that helps to bring out the curl while also hydrating your hair to keep it shiny and strong. 2. Finger comb your hair to detangle it. Using your fingers instead of a brush or comb will help your natural curls stay together, rather than pulling them apart. When you want your hair to look as curly as possible, your fingers are the best tools you can use to handle your hair. 3. Flip your hair over and blotted dry in sections. Use your fingers to gently pull apart strands of hair into separate sections, leaving your natural waves as intact as possible. Use a soft microfiber towel to blot each section of hair dry, starting at the roots and working down to the tips. When you let your hair air dry without separating it into sections, the mass of wet hair tends to clump up as it dries instead of separating into well-defined curls. Don't towel your hair dry roughly, since this can cause it to get frizzy. Just gently blot your hair dry to the tips. 4. Apply curl-defining gel or lotion. Instead of running it through your hair from the roots to the tips, rub some product between your palms and cup your hair from the bottom, gently scrunching each section of hair from the bottom and using your fingers to apply it to the length of your hair. This will help your curls stay bouncy instead of weighing them down. As you apply the product, squeeze your hair gently to help lift up the curls. 5. Dry your hair with a diffuser. After it has air dried to the point where it's no longer dripping, flip your hair upside down. Use the diffuser attachment on your hair dryer to dry your hair in sections, pointing up from the bottom instead of drying from the top down. Lift the section you're drying onto the diffuser and gently push up with the diffuser to help define your curls. Continue section by section until your hair is mostly dried. Drying your hair without the diffuser will blow out your curls, so make sure you use the attachment. At this point, handle your hair with your fingers as little as possible. Let the diffuser do the work. Handling your hair too much will lead to frizzing. 6. Finish with light hold hairspray. This will keep your curls from falling out too quickly, especially if it's humid outside. To keep your curls lasting as long as possible, try not to touch your hair throughout the day. Avoid wearing a hat or using hair accessories that might weigh your hair down. Part 2. Defining curls in curly or kinky hair. 1. Wash your hair sparingly. Curly or kinky hair tends to be a little drier and coarser than straight hair, since it has a spiral shape. The natural oils produced by the scalp don't make it all the way to the tips, resulting in hair that isn't naturally as conditioned as straight hair. Curly hair requires a different sort of treatment from straighter hair, and that starts with washing it less often. If you wash your hair every day, try cutting back to just 2 times a week and see if you notice that your curls are less dry. Everyone's hair texture and oil level is a little different, so experiment and see what works for you. It might take a few weeks before you figure out how many times a week you need to wash your hair to keep it clean but also well conditioned. 2. Consider washing with conditioner instead of shampoo. Many people with curly or kinky hair have switched from regular shampooing to the co-wash method. They have found that washing with conditioner instead of shampoo gets it just as clean without drying it out. Conditioner moisturizes coils and keeps them in good shape, rather than pulling them apart. Look for a conditioner that does not contain silicones. These make your hair shiny at first, but eventually they build up and leave curls looking weighed down and dull. If you choose to use shampoo, get one that's sulfate-free or is labeled as moisturizing or nourishing. Sulfates are a cleansing agent that dry out hair, cause frizz, and they wreak havoc on a curly head. 3. Find a deep conditioner that gives you the texture you desire. There are so many deep conditioners on the market that it can be difficult to choose which one to buy. You can actually use your normal conditioner as a deep conditioner. Just leave it in your hair for a few hours before rinsing it out. If you're up for experimenting, try adding different deep conditioning treatments to find one that works with your curls. Here are a few common natural conditioners. Honey. Mix 2 tablespoons of honey with 2 tablespoons of water. Work the mixture through your hair section by section. Let it sit for an hour, then rinse it out. Almond oil or coconut oil. Work section by section to finger comb the oil into your hair. Let it sit for an hour, then rinse it out. Your hair may still feel a bit oily, so if it bothers you, rinse it along with shampoo. Egg whites. An egg white rinse will leave your hair looking shiny and moisturized. Separate 2 eggs and stir the whites together. Dilute with a little water. Work the mixture into your hair section by section. Let it sit for an hour, then rinse with the coldest water you can tolerate. 4. Use a finishing oil or butter. This seals your hair's cuticles so that your hair will stay hydrated even after your hair is dried out. Working section by section. Smooth your oil or finishing butter of choice into your curls. Finger combing so that the curls stay intact. The following oils and butters are popular choices: argan oil, shea butter, cocoa butter. Creams that contain one of the above ingredients. Curl defining serums. 5. Avoid products that dry out your hair. The styling products you use have the potential to dry out your hair and create frizz. Before you use hairspray, gel, and other styling products, test them on just one small section of hair to see the results before you cover your entire head with it. 6. Do not brush your hair. If you have curly or kinky hair, particularly if you have tight coils, brushing your hair will separate it and leave you looking poofy and frizzy. This type of hair never really needs to be brushed. If you need to detangle your hair, finger comb it section by section, or use a white tooth comb if you don't have tight coils. If your hair is more wavy than curly, you can use a boar bristle brush to brush your hair, but only when it's dry. A boar bristle brush is made with bristles that are similar to the texture of your hair, so it won't damage your curls. It's used to help move your scalp's natural oils down the length of your hair. Part 3. Styling curls. 1. Get your curls cut by a stylist who knows curls. Curls are notoriously difficult to cut. When it's done the wrong way, you can end up with a style that just doesn't look right with your hair texture. Do some research to find a stylist who's experienced in cutting curly hair. Look online for reviews, or ask your curly-haired friends for a recommendation. Tell the stylist you want to avoid triangle hair, and see what he or she says. Anyone experienced in cutting curly hair knows what this means. Triangle hair is when the heavy curls grow in the shape of a triangular helmet. A good stylist will be able to cut the curls in such a way that they have better shape and movement. If a stylist wants to thin your hair with thinning shears, that's a red flag. Thinning shears can cause curly hair to frizz. 2. Air dry or diffuse your hair instead of blowing it out. Using a full blast of heat to dry curls will make your hair texture drier and coarser over time. It's better to let your curls air dry or diffuse on a low setting so your hair retains its bounce and stays hydrated. Finger comb your curls section by section, then let them air dry so they stay bouncy and sleek. If you're concerned about getting more volume near your roots, use small clips to lift up your hair near your scalp. The hair will dry with a little more lift than it otherwise would. 3. Handle your hair gently. Scrunching, brushing, towel drying, twisting, and otherwise roughly handling curly hair can crush and separate the curls, making it look frizzy and messy. To keep your curls coiled, avoid touching your hair except when you really need to. When you're applying produce or finger combing, separate your hair into sections and work on each one gently. Here are a few other ways you can avoid getting frizzy. Sleep on a silk pillowcase designed to provide a soft surface for your hair. It's good for your skin. 2. Avoid styles that pull too much on your curls, and use hair accessories that aren't too sharp or tight. 4. Revive your curls in between washes. When you wake up in the morning, after sleeping on your fancy silk pillowcase, your curls might look a little flat. To perk them back up, spray your hair with water, leave-in conditioner, or a spray gel to add more moisture. Work it through your hair section by section to revive the shape of the curls. To keep frizz at bay during the day, bring along a little gel or hair oil you can use to smooth down your hair. Remember not to comb or brush out your curls if you want them to stay coiled.